In show business, they say you shouldn't work with babies or animals as they don't follow orders and just do their own thing.
That's nice, but what does it have to do with this video?
Well, in contrast, the very best in showbiz are loud, charismatic eye catchers like today's subject, Sardonyx, Steven Universe's bombastic and bold fusion. As we do in all of these videos, we need to find a base feat of strength, and a good one comes in the form of her giant warhammer.
Typical sledgehammers are made out of steel, and for simplicity's sake, let's say that Sardes has a similar composition, and we can scale things up from there, you know?
Hold on, did you say Sardi?
Yeah.
That's a horrible nickname.
Would you prefer Don?
Well, no, I guess not.
Great! Scaling this warhammer to Don's 561 centimeter frame, we can find it has a volume of 109,658,012.5 centimeters cubed.
With that in mind, then proceeding to apply the average density of steel, we can find the Sardonyx is casually lifting a hammer that weighs over 1,942,000 pounds, or 882,750 kilograms.
That'd be like lifting over 33 Russian T-34 tanks used in the Second World War. My favorite war.
And if you think that's impressive, you should see how powerful her attacks are. When Dawn fuse during a tight situation, they bend the warhammer into a drill to pull a Freddie Mercury and break free.
I want to break free. Looking at the composition and comparing it to other structures built from hundreds of years ago, this building is most likely made of limestone.
In order to determine how hard Sardonyx had to drill in order to determine how hard she had to drill in order to escape the trap, we need to understand how deep that pit is. By comparing how long it took for all the gems to take their fall, and subtracting how long it took amethyst to fall the same height minus the depths of the pit, we can rework this equation for T into this equation for height. We find that the pit stands 411.5 meters deep. Scaling from another shot, the drill itself has a total surface area of 6.72 meters squared. Subtracting the area of the circle on the bottom, the area hitting the limestone would only be 4.96 meters squared.
Multiplying that by the compressive strength of 67.4 megapascals, we find that Dawn would have produced 334,304,000 newtons. Not only that, but as energy equals force times distance, Dawn must have struck with 147,595,206,000 joules.
Quite impressive. But swinging at hammers where Sardonyx really has some fun. In the Season 3 episode Back to the Moon, the 5 rubies from Homeworld form a Mega Ruby and attempts to fight the crystal gems. And it goes about as well as you would expect for the bad guys.
In Steven Universe, the movie, we see the ruby that forms Garnet fall victim to a falling anvil. Seeing as this caused her to panic and makes Sapphire give her some final words, it's safe to say that if the anvil had collided into her, it would have definitely killed you, so get
As determined in my video on Steven's updated feats of strength from the movie, that anvil would have collided into the ground with a terrifying force of 780 million newtons. Seeing as the Mega Ruby is formed from 5 rubies, and as fusions are always stronger than a normal gem, this means Sardonyx would have hit the Mega Ruby with at least 3,900,000,000 newtons, not only to knock the wind out of her, but also to cause the Mega Ruby to diffuse.
That'd be a strike worth nearly 145 Saturn V rockets taking off.
And that was just with a little bit of wind-up. During her debut episode, Cry for Help, Sardonyx is tasked with bringing down the old rebuilt communication hub, and does so effortlessly and with style.
Oh yeah, she really milks it.
Scaling those pillars to that of Sugilite back when she did the same thing, albeit more chaotically, in the episode Coach Steven, these pillars should stand over 12,800 centimeters tall, and have a diameter of 1,168.41 centimeters. In that episode, Pearl noted that the hub was transmitting bursts of electromagnetic interference, and to skip the boring stuff,
Thank God.
these pillars should be composed of the material pyrite, which has a density of 5.01 grams per cubic centimeter. Using the aforementioned height and width, these pillars should weigh 152,103,600 pounds. With that in mind, we can then scale how far the first pillar was spanked and how much energy was needed to move it.
Scaling everything in this shot, the pillar must have moved 763.88 meters and traveled said distance in 23 frames of the 30 frames per second video, giving it a velocity of 996.73 meters per second.
That's pushing Mach 3 speeds. The kinetic energy needed to move this pillar this way would be 34,184,845,700,000 joules, or 7,858.9 tons of TNT. That would be over 3,900 times more powerful than the Davy Crockett bomb.
But how much force did she hit it with?
Well, as force equals work divided by distance, we can scale how far Sardonyx had to swing her hammer, and find she must have struck that pillar with 312,361,528,700 newtons. Comparing that to the Saturn V rocket, and this hit would be worth
11,568 times more powerful than the Saturn V.
And she proceeded to do this to 17 other pillars immediately after with little effort whatsoever. Sardonyx truly is a late-night powerhouse.
Like and subscribe! That's it.
If you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe.
You don't want to see more.
You sure do. There's 2 videos on the thing. You click those, you give me views.
Dislike this video.
No,
if you
don't do
hate
it.
Look at it.